What up, jigsters and jig sets? This is how to do an oil change on a 2006 to 2022 Suzuki GSXR-600. Here's everything you'll need. Links for all will be in the video description. Now for the first step, removing the fairings. Step number 2 starts on the clutch lever side, locating the pan drain bolt. Right in the bottom of the pan, there's a 17mm bolt. Over on the throttle side, you want to remove your fill cap. If it's stuck like mine was, you can give it a little bit of persuasion. Now we remove the drain plug with a 17mm socket. Now we just leave that to sit and drain for a while we move on to the next steps. Next on the list is locating the oil filter behind the exhaust header, and then also placing some aluminum foil for any drips or spills. And then we move on to removing the oil filter. And now while we let everything drip, it's time to move on to the next step. Next, we have to remove the old crush washer off of the pan bolt and put a new one on. These things almost always end up stuck on, so you have to cut them off. Now that we finally got that off, we have to put the new one on. These only go on one way. The flat side goes down facing against the plug, the other side goes against the drain pan. Now we move on to the next step, priming the oil filter. First step is looping up the O-ring on the new oil filter. Next, we prime the oil filter by filling it up all the way and then letting it soak it up. Twirling it around for a bit helps it soak in. Once it's absorbed the majority of it, you keep repeating the process until the filter holds at least half full. Now we're going to clean up where the oil filter meets the engine. Next, we screw on the new filter, being careful not to cross thread it. I usually go hand tight and then spin it about another half of a turn. And then we clean off the oil pan. Now we replace the drain bolt hand tight. And then we set our torque wrench to 17 foot-pounds. Now we clean up the mess with some brake clean and a rag. Do the same around the oil pan. Now we tear the top off the included funnel. Open it up and push it into the oil fill hole. And now we add oil until it's filled up to the fill line. You can see the full line marked here. Once it's filled up to the line, turn the engine over a few times and then run it for a few seconds. This fills the filter the rest of the way and circulates oil through the rest of the engine. Next, turn the engine off and fill it back up to the fill line. Next, we run the bike to operating temperature and then shut it off and let it sit for 15 minutes and then check the oil level again. Now that it's warmed up to 170 degrees, we shut it off and let it sit for 15 minutes, and then if necessary, add more until it's back at the line. And that's it. Follow me and keep up on your maintenance.